Welcome to Let's Pop This Tart with Meg and Sam Jones.
And we are here together for the first time.
Yeah, we are. We're here. And our cousin Maggie, shout out to Maggie, got us these cool Let's Pop This Tart shirts.
Yeah, so let's be nerds for a minute about it because we feel special.
Yeah, we feel famous. Yeah.
So thank you, Maggie Moo, always the baby.
Yep. And I'm very pregnant at this point. So
yes, she is. And not only that, but we now know what little baby is in her stomach.
Yep, baby is a boy, and the name will be Julian Hardy. So there you go.
Auntie is going to spoil him rotten, just like I do, Allie.
That's right.
Also, this is the first episode of season 2. And not only that, but today's a special day because it's Bob, our dad's birthday.
Yep. Shout out to Dad. Happy 55th birthday, Dad.
Yes, you're the best ever. And we're going to do a little jonesing for some deets. This is going to be a catch-up episode, but we decided for our dad's birthday, we would do the most asked about Robert Jonesing for some deets, I think.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Taylor Walker always asks about it, so...
All right.
Today we're going to tell you guys the story about how I think you were a senior. I was a freshman and a ceiling fan fell on top of our dad in the middle of the night, pretty much is exactly what happens.
And okay, so how I remember it is that I was sleeping in my room and then I heard a big thump and a bang. And then I opened my eyes and I didn't hear anything else. So I thought to myself, oh, that must have been a dream. Like I must have been having a dream where I heard those noises. So I just went back to bed.
I basically remember the same thing. I thought it was just something in the house, but nothing big. But then I remember waking up and not like, I could see out my window that Dad's truck was still there and I could not figure it out. And I remember going in his room to get him and tell him it was time for work. And he was just like, oh, Megan, the ceiling fan fell on top of my feet last night. I can't move. And I literally just cracked up laughing. I could not breathe. Yeah. I had to stop. She heard the commotion. Our rooms were all three, like Dad, Sam's, mine. So we all heard, started laughing. It was crazy. And then you look up and there's just a fucking hole in the ceiling where my dad's ceiling fan was because it completely fell on top of his feet while it was going and scratched up his feet.
Yeah, while he was sleeping, poor guy.
So while that we are cracking up and trying to get ready for school, then it's like we have to wear makeup every day at that point. We end up being late for school. And Sam told me today she didn't remember this, but I remember when we got to school, because we were both in high school, our assistant principal, Mr. Elms, was like, Samantha, you and your sister have been late so much. And Sam just lost it. Baby Holt came out and she was like, listen, a ceiling fan fell on top of my dad's feet. He couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah.
Do you remember that at all?
No, I don't remember that. I barely remember Mr. Elms.
Baby brain, man.
Baby brain and a lot of other stuff.
How don't you remember Mr. Elms? Maybe because he was one of most like anti-Sam Jones.
Was he anti-Sam Jones?
Yeah.
I think he was anti-Megan Jones. I don't think really anyone from the faculty, besides the math teacher, was anti-Sam Jones. But
I remember going into class that day and telling everybody that a ceiling fan fell on top of Robert. And it's something that I'll always remember. And still to this day, because he's got a fear of it happening again, there's still a fucking hole in the ceiling in his room. Yeah. No fan.
He didn't replace the fan. And the reason that this is one of the most requested stories is because of Megan and me both making a big fuss about it after it happened. Everybody wanted to hear it, you know?
So. And our dad's accents, or our dad's how we mimic our dad.
Yeah.
So it's a good one. But other than that, while we've been together, we've watched 2 non-reality TV shows, Bridgerton and what was it called?
Firefly Lane.
Firefly Lane. So I've got to ask Sam, which did you prefer?
I think that I liked Bridgerton more.
Why? Because that hot.
Because of the hot guy.
If you haven't seen Bridgerton, watch it because Hastings.
The Duke of Hastings.
Perfection.
He's a hottie patati.
I could watch him do anything. And if you have seen Bridgerton but haven't seen his SNL monologue, watch that because sexy, just so sexy.
Yeah, it was a good time. But I also did enjoy Firefly Lane, and it's
I-
a good show to watch with your girlfriends.
Or your sissies.
Yeah, that's right.
And I recommend watching both. So Firefly Lane hasn't said it's got a second season, but Bridgerton does. Reality TV wise, I've got to let everyone here know that I cannot go on with The Bachelor ever since I watched Matt Dump Abigail. It was too much for me.
Yeah, it was upsetting for both of us. So we decided to take a little break. We have yet to get back into it.
Matt James is the biggest letdown I've had,
Okay.
and I've had a lot of letdowns in the men category. So thank you, Matt, for taking that.
Okay, but we will say this, it's probably a maturity issue. So that's
Because he's never had a relationship.
yeah, so he's probably just acting that way because he's never had a relationship.
Okay. Well, we all have seen online what happens. There's been total chaos in the Bachelor Bachelorette world with the host and everything. And we know who he picks. We all know he's going to pick Rachel. We're not happy about it.
No, because she's fake, and I called her being fake like the first.
And it's not just the stuff online; it's her lying about so much more. Like she's just fake in general.
She literally acted like she's never had a pair of expensive heels, and she comes from a well-off family, so it's pretty obvious that she's had.
And then it goes much
expensive
deeper
shoes.
with just her outlook on life. But
Yeah, so
what a mess! All I can say is I hope the Bachelorette is a good season because Matt's season was a total dud, and it's just embarrassing. I'm upset. Tyler
Yeah.
Cameron should be upset too.
yeah, it was a dud, but it was nice to
So
see
see his abs.
and his booty.
Ooh, that booty just don't quit.
That's right. And I appreciated at the end of one of the episodes that we did watch that Maggie had him dance because I do enjoy his dances on Instagram.
He could
so.
dance to anything.
Yeah, he knows how to move, and he's a big boy. He you know how Drake can't really dance? You know, Drake, the rapper / singer, he can't really dance because he's like a big guy and he just looks silly. Well, Matt James is also a big guy, and he really knows how to dance.
I also just think you have a little beef with Drake.
I don't have a beef with Drake. I'm just pointing out the obvious.
Okay. I don't think one thing I've got to talk about that's not anything about The Bachelor, but I've got to mention that a couple that I've wanted to date forever is finally dating. That's right. Travis Barker and Kourtney Kardashian. And I'm just beyond pumped about it. I check in with it all the time. If they break up, I might cry. So it better not be for publicity.
Yeah, I don't think it's for publicity. He's came out and said that he really likes the whole family and he adores Kourtney. So, you know, this might just be a case of friendship before lovers, you guys. And they just built the foundation of a friendship and then they became a couple. We have a friend situation like that. That's Sam and Tom. They were best friends before they started dating. Same thing.
And now look at couple goals.
Now look at them, couple goals. That's right.
For sure. What other reality TV? We caught up with Atlanta, and that's what our second episode of season 2 is going to be about. Bolo.
Yes. Oh boy, what an episode that was.
Oh,
what a season Atlanta is. I think I've really enjoyed watching Portia do her thing and get out there and protest.
we're going to get more into it, but we will say the season's been a lot like the Bolo, very large.
Yeah, it has been, and that was a bit much. It was
We will
a
get
lot.
in.
It was a lot for this mama to take in.
Yeah, baby Julian has made her a little more sensitive. She had to cover her eyes with Bridgerton, cover her eyes with so much.
Yeah, I guess it's maybe, I know the baby can't see what I see, but I still feel like guilty, I guess. So.
Oh boy, Jesus, take the wheel. This kid, you guys, she'll make you tired, but it's hard not to love her.
That's right.
I've also been watching, if you're not catching up with Dallas, you need to. It's very good, but we did hear that Brandy's apparently no more. She's quit the show. That's upsetting because I feel like we need to stop just cutting people off that make mistakes in Bravo and letting us see them heal. That goes back to Stassi and Kristen with Vanderpump Rules. I know that's coming back, and we're not going to see any of that healing when we could have seen them make some real progress with the faults they've made with racial slurs.
It's
So,
true.
I'm upset,
True.
but
There's also a big beef between Deandra and Carrie going on in this season, and that's been interesting to watch.
yeah, and Deandra's gave me a quote that I've used so many times to my boyfriend. If you guys haven't seen the episode, she just looks at Carrie very nonchalantly and goes, "You can go fuck yourself."
Yeah, it was a really funny moment.
Oh boy. But other than that, you guys, we have just been really enjoying sister time and being lazy and eating ton. I've never seen someone eat like this. And I don't know if you guys watch Teletubbies, but when she eats cereal, it sounds like the Teletubbies vacuum when it would suck up custard.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the cereal in and swallowed before it gets too soggy because I like it better when it's crunchy, and so does baby Julian.
Oh boy. Instead of a sister question to wrap up this little mini episode to start season 2, I'm just going to talk about some blonde moments I've witnessed with my sister and staying with her for 2 weeks because it's been a ride. I had a whole list. Oh, golly. Okay. First of all, when we first started watching Bridgerton, she kept asking, "What is this I'm watching? Is this a comedy?" I can't. And between her and her husband, you guys, I've got to tell you something. Poor things. They put a wooden cutting board in the oven to store it there. So I started the oven to start cooking, and then we just start smelling fumes. We're gonna blame. I hear that the husband gets pregnancy brain when the wife's pregnant, so that's probably what happened. Oh, this is big.
Oh,
this
Lord.
one, she likes the rotten nut in the bag of peanut M&Ms. If you've had peanut M&Ms, you know what I mean. And I'm floored by this. But I was literally like, we had peanut M&Ms in her gender reveal because we had things that said nuts or no nuts.
Mhm.
And she was eating some peanut M&Ms. And I said, "Oh, I hope you don't get the raw nut." And she goes, "I like it."
Yeah.
What the hell?
I call that a pleasant surprise. It's got a little roast at the end of it that I appreciate.
Allie, her daughter, just says, "I call it disgusting," and I agree. It's nasty. Another thing is, this isn't really making fun of her, but I just have to tell everyone that's not watching on YouTube and is just listening. My sister is equivalent pregnant to Tommy Pickles, but if Tommy was like stoned, because her little belly is always hanging out, but she's just constantly eating. It's so cute. I've never seen this thing hungrier. I really haven't.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
And I've never seen her hungrier. That's all I'll say. Do you have anything to rant about or anything are you just ashamed because I brought up the cutting board?
I'm just ashamed.
It's okay. You're doing all right.
Thanks.
It's going to be okay. All right, you guys, we will be back soon again together for episode 2 of season 2, all about that Bolo.
Yeah, we're getting into Bolo and everything he has to offer.
And I will say that's Real Housewives of Atlanta. If no one knows, I've just called it Bolo for a while, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and Bolo, by the way, is a male stripper. So.
Oh. And to end this, I just have to bring up one point. Bolo, by the way, is a male stripper. Alex in the back.
She's not paying attention.
Jesus, take the wheel. I just have to add up before I go that Anthony, my sister's husband, and my bubby-in-law called her while I've been here and literally called her. She missed the call and then called me and is like, "Megan, give the phone to Sam." I thought something was wrong. He called her to ask if he could talk to the baby in an English accent while the baby was in her stomach.
No.
So that's what she's dealing with here. That's to wrap up.
Jokester Tony.
Yeah, let's pop that Tart on how he thinks that's going to work.
Ugh. Oh, Lord help us.
All right, you can find us on Instagram at Let's Pop This Tart or
Twitter at Let's Pop This Tart
or Gmail if you want to send us some sister questions. I know we skipped that this time, but we're going to have it on episode 2. I just couldn't get by without talking about all this one's blonde moments.
What else besides those? Is there one more? Oh, also you can look us up on YouTube. If you just type in "Let's Pop This Tart."
Yeah, there we are. If you want to see us, and maybe you can probably one day see some Gen Zs coming after us for these side parts. But you know what? We don't care. We're over it.
Well, I look more like I don't know what I'm doing today.
A little bit like Mom's old roommate Kevin.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like dealing with my hair, and I'm just feeling a little insecure today. So
you're beautiful.
Bear with us. Thanks. So
like a 10.
Oh gosh.
You're already a MILF.
All right.
So, on that note, thank you for listening. And we will see you next time, or you will hear us next time. Love ya.
Bye, guys.